Hello everybody, welcome back to the cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, thanks for joining us. You know, I've sold some things over the years on this show, and when I show people what's sold, I'll have people send me messages and they're like, you know what, I can't believe you sold that. I'm unsubscribing. I'm never watching you again today. I'm going to talk about some of those items. I'm going to talk about if you have some of those items you don't sell, and I have no doubt that some people are going to unsubscribe today, and that's perfectly fine. I think it's crazy, but hey, to each his own. Let's take a look. Hey y'all, believe it or not, I already filmed the first segment of this video this morning, a little earlier today, and I came down here and I was going to film the rest of it. I already storyboarded it. I already had a topic for the day. Everything was all set, and stuff just kept selling like crazy. I'm like, I can't make it. This video is going to be an hour long. This is crazy. So I decided to completely change topics. You heard it in the intro, and we're going to do an extra video probably this week because we've had a bunch of sales, and I know it's not great for everybody out there, and it's still up and down for some folks, but the last few days for us has been absolute fire. Wallen's out there barking at something. I don't know. Somebody just showed up. But I'm going to run that first clip that we've already done about 4 or 5 sales. And then we're going to get into this topic today and show you the item that some people just won't be able to stomach. First one here is one of my favorite things to sell, even though they have a really slow sell-through rate. That's it right there. I'm going to put the camera up a little higher. It's a Black & Decker Space Maker, and I believe I got that one for free. Somebody had it, and they're like, just take it. And I'm like, okay, I'll take it. And I know it's a long tail item, but I love to grab those. I'm not going to pull it down right now, but that sold for $45 plus shipping. It's really not hard to pack. You bubble wrap just the glass part, and then you bubble wrap everything on top of that, and then you put it in the right size box. It's not that difficult. It only is going to take about 5, 6, 7 minutes max. There are some models of those that go for way more money than that. That's the old style clock, but some of the digital ones go for a little bit more money. And let me tell you, if you ever find one brand new sealed in a box, you've got some big bucks there. The next one was probably my best buy at the Highway 21 sale. I bought a tub full of this stuff for 50 bucks. I've already made over 200 is my guess, maybe just a shade under, but probably over. And I pulled this one out earlier because I knew I'd have to dig for it. It is a 2XL Joe Gibbs Racing Denny Hamlin Pit Crew style shirt. New, never been worn, I believe. Size 2XL. This one sold for 30 bucks plus shipping. And I'll tell you what, I didn't find any comps for anything in that box whatsoever. But I just knew, I mean, that stuff's going to sell. It might be long tail, but it's going to sell. The very first thing I sold out of there, I made my 50 bucks back in a profit, and there literally was a tub for it, just full of it. And they gave me the tub. I used to have a super tough time selling the Jello Tupperware molds. And for whatever reason, you can find them still, like this one, they can sell. And it didn't sell, or this stuff doesn't sell a lot of times because, well, it's used. Look at this. This stuff was brand new in the package. And new Tupperware, even if it's not good Tupperware, like this one used, just doesn't sell for that much. Hardly worth selling at all, to be honest with you. But for $1, for a new in the package Tupperware Jello mold with all the little plates and stuff that goes with it, we got 30 bucks for that, plus shipping. If you've been watching this show for a while, you probably remember me picking up a ton of Virginia Tech, like actual team worn stuff. And we made a bunch of money on that. That's not where I got this one. This one I got from a separate sale. And now I don't know which one it is because there's 2 of them. I think it's the smaller of the 2, so I got to get this out. And it's the marching band uniform. I'm like, is this for a kid's costume or something? They're like, no, they wear those really tiny little tight. I'm like, okay, I got to figure out which one it is. Turns out they're both identical, which doesn't surprise me. I bought them at the same sale. And so to figure out the difference, I did not list multi-quantity because, I don't know if you can tell, but this one's slightly dingy compared to that one. That one looks like it's never been worn before. This one looks like it's been worn plenty. But you can look at the tag. And the tag, even though it's identical, you can tell there's different wear marks in it. If you can see that or not. That's why I don't do multi-quantity, because people would complain about, you know, the different sizes. But that one looks like it's, you know, well, it's got some markings in there. Anyway, this is the right one, and that's how I could tell by that on the inside. $32.40 plus shipping. I think I paid $5 total for both. Also just remembered that I had It's been sitting here for a long time. I don't know where the hat is, but there's a hat that goes with it. A full band uniform right here. It's got the pants and the hat that goes with it. Just a one size smaller, and it's out there. It's listed for like $100, I think. I remembered I had one more inside. Look at that. So I figured I'd bring it out here and put it together with the rest of them. I sold this Chargers jersey. Ryan Matthews Charger jersey. It's got the tag on it. This one wasn't a high seller right there. It only sold for, I don't even know what it sold for, $30 plus shipping for that one right there. And you know, we're into it for $10, so we're not making a ton, but a lot of these we did make good money on. Uh-oh, I hear a dog. Come on, pup. Come on. You're a needy animal. Before I show you this item that's sold that some people are going to get bent out of shape about, somebody's going to go up there and find that unsubscribe button. Maybe if you haven't subscribed, you can balance that out by hitting the subscribe button for me. I'd appreciate that. But first, I'm going to talk about a couple items in the past that I've talked about that I've sold, that people have sent me messages, emails, comments down there in the comments section, and they're like, I'm out. And then sure enough, you see the subs go through. I remember, I think the one that, well, there's another one, but it relates to this item. But one of the ones that I got a ton of heat for was selling Uncle Remis by, what's the guy's name? Joel Chandler Harris. If you remember that book, it's really interesting. Matter of fact, there's a museum down there, and there's all kinds, you know, the whole Song of the South stuff and all that came out of it. And it's got tremendous value. I don't care. You know, I know people have different issues about certain things, but man, to give up our history, good and bad, to give up our history is insane to me. And I sold that book, and I'd sell it again if I found it. It was an early edition of it, and I have no bones about that whatsoever. I've sold Redskins stuff, boy, and man, every time I sell something Redskins, I can guarantee there's somebody who leaves me a comment. And there's other stuff, you know. There's stuff like, I sold a Magic 8-ball once in the box, and I had people unsubscribe for that. I sell Harry Potter stuff, and every single time I sell a Harry Potter thing, somebody says something about it, which, you know, hey, there's all kinds. There's things I won't sell. Are there things you won't sell? Usually they're not political things. I'll sell political things. I mean, I probably won't sell crazy political things. I wouldn't even mind selling certain things out of Nazi Germany that have historical value. I mean, think about museums wanting that stuff, right? But it's not something I make a practice of, for sure. I think I came across a Che Guevara item one time, and it was glorifying Che. And I'm like, I don't know, you know. I mean, I'm not saying I don't have limits. I have limits. I don't sell things that go against my conscience, of course. And I imagine some of you do out there as well. You know, porn, for instance. I don't buy porn and sell porn. But I also don't go around making statements of, you know, ethical statements to other people and moral statements to other people and saying, you know, you're a bad person for doing this or for doing that or selling that. I feel like it's a personal choice. And I imagine some of you out there, if you wouldn't mind, tell me in the comments below before I show you this item here, what are things you won't sell? And, you know, it's going to open it up to some firefights down there in the comments. You know, try to control yourself a little bit. I usually don't delete too many comments. I will delete some from time to time if they kind of meet those requirements, but I try to leave that stuff up there. But I really don't like, no matter which side of the argument you come from, you know, whether it's religion, you know, this side or that side, or whether it's politics, this side or that side, there's still a decent way to deal with this stuff. And so normally the ones that are attacking people personally are the ones we usually get rid of. So if you avoid that, I'd appreciate it. You know, when I taught public high school, I taught history, you know, I would encourage these discussions, and I would encourage them on some pretty fiery issues sometimes, and I'd lay the ground rules for it. And it usually was extremely successful and beneficial in the end, and usually nobody changed their opinion. I just grabbed this bin, but the one thing that, well, there's two things that were extremely beneficial to the kids. I think we could all learn from them. And the first thing was that they learned how to deal with the opposing opinion of somebody else in a gracious and kind way. And then they learned how to make defenses for their own worldview and their own personal belief. You know, I was kind of my opinion as a high school teacher that it wasn't my job to shape some kid's worldview or to turn them from a worldview. It was my job to expose them to other worldviews and to allow parents and to allow a kid to develop their own thoughts about big issues. So when I was in Florida, we came across an amazing buy of Damn It dolls. And it's not that's offensive to some folks. Well, maybe it is, I don't know. And we grabbed them, and it was an incredible deal. I'm not going to spoil it all, but I'm going to show it to you on the upcoming picker video. But check this out. I picked these up. Look at this. Look at that right there. That is a, well, you can only assume it's a Donald Trump damn it dog, right? And new tags packaged up, and the comps on these are around $22, $23, $24, some even more than that. And that one sold, and somebody asked me, are you going to sell that? Are you going to put that on your Commonwealth Flipper channel? I said, of course I'm going to. What are you talking about? I'm paying nothing for these hardly. I want to make this money for sure, and it's the political season coming up. I'm going to sell that. And a lot of people have already left the channel already. They've already unsubscribed, which is unfortunate because I'm going to show you something else in just a second. But before I do, I want to talk about some other things. I sold some Donald Trump dice from Trump Tower. It's old stuff, like literally from Trump, not Trump Tower, Trump, what is the one in Jersey? The Taj Mahal. The Taj, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think that is what it's called. And we sold some dice from there. So we came across a bunch at a sale, and I was selling them 2 at a time. People turn them into keychains or whatever. And I'm like, holy moly, these people. When I sold those, it was just crazy. There, I just was just tons of stuff in the comments of the picker video and the comments on the flipper video. I'm like, really? It's a pair of dice that this man hasn't owned, or his casino hasn't owned for 50 years or ever, I don't know, 20 years, however long it's been gone. Jersey folks tell me it's gone, right? Any rate, I've sold some other stuff too on the other side of the spectrum. You know, I sold, oh, I can't remember what the Obama stuff was, but I've sold Obama stuff. I even have comments. You remember me selling those White House Christmas ornaments? And depending on the year, different people get mad. If a Republican was in office, they'd get ticked. You know, the left would. If a Democrat was in office, the right would get ticked, and they're like, I'd never sell that. I'm like, holy moly, man, you're going to have to draw some serious lines, and a lot of stuff's going to be off limits. And you know what? People do that. I've seen people say, I refuse to sell Disney stuff now, or I refuse to sell this. Look, those are personal choices. Those are your choices. And, you know, I have some personal choices too. I'm not saying that anybody's opinion doesn't, you know, needs to override somebody else's here. I'm just saying that some of it just seems a little ridiculous to me. I think I'm in the majority, but I guess I'll know when I read these comments. I remember I sold a little Buddha statue and had some people ticked off about that. And I sold, well, I sold a crucifix one time. It was a Catholic thing, and some Catholic bashers came out, and boy, we had, that's not it. Y'all, believe it or not, look at this. One sold to one person, and 4 sold to another person. I gotta get them all out of here. They're all at the bottom. So there's 4 going out of here. Right there. And then 1 sold to somebody else. 22, 23, I can't remember. $23? $24 plus shipping. There. Now, I always said this show is not about politics and religion. Matter of fact, I don't say it often anymore, but I'm like, you know, this show, you know, they say sit down at the Thanksgiving table or the Christmas dinner table and don't talk about politics and don't talk about religion. And I always say for resellers, don't talk about politics, religion, or what kind of thermal printer you use, or what platforms you like to sell on. But check it out. Since I lost half my audience, we might as well go for the whole audience. Look, I sold a Joe Biden one as well. There you go. And it's, well, you know, oh wait, this was a combo sale. We sold them together, y'all. Look at that. Somebody paid $30 for 2 of them. There you go. Now I've lost my whole audience. I've ticked off the right. I've ticked off the left. But you know what? It was worth it. I made some good money on that. All right, this is funny. This sale just came in. I'm not even going to ship it out today. We're going to ship it out tomorrow. But I wanted to mention it because I just read the comment a little while ago. Listen to this. Kevin, I love watching your YouTube videos. I'm giving this to my husband for Christmas. He's a huge Trumper. And I, on the other hand, I'm not. I hope you and your family have a wonderful holiday out there. So there you go. See, it's perfect. You know, if you, no matter who you like, you know, you can get it. And if you don't like him, you can, you know, hit it against the couch while you're watching a debate, or you can hold it tight. I don't care what you do. But I made some decent money on those for sure, and I'm happy I did. As a matter of fact, some of you might remember on the other channel, the Commonwealth Picker channel, me picking up some hats. I guess I should talk about this book first. And this is a Katharine Hepburn Rebel Chic book. And it was a cross-listed, I don't know where this one sold. This one sold a Bonanza, y'all. Bonanza's $30 sale. $29.65 plus shipping for that sealed Katharine Hepburn book. On that video, I'd asked a gentleman to go in and, well, I said, do you have any more trucker hats? He's like, yeah. And he went in and he got them and he brought them out. And some of them were, you could tell he was a Trump supporter. I think he had a Union hat on. And I said something and I looked through them and I was very kind and nice. I thought I was. And at the end, I said, these aren't really the kind of hats I'm looking for. But thank you for going in and getting them for me. I appreciate it. And boy, tons of comments, tons of unsubs. I simply meant those hats. Oh, I didn't say this. I didn't say those hats aren't going to sell on eBay. But those particular hats that he had, none of them were good eBay sellers. And I couldn't even believe the response by some folks. But hey, it is what it is. Sometimes, you just buy to sell on eBay. If it's within your conscience and you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. I got to go out to the other cabin here and find an item that sold that was really listed pretty quickly and then sold. I can assure you, ooh, there's a dog coming. I can assure you this, if I found a Barack Obama or a George Bush hat that sold for money on eBay, I would buy both of them. This one right here, I think we might have taken an offer on this because it was a viewer. Had no viewer sales last video, and I don't see, well, maybe there's a couple in this one. Look at this dog, y'all. Jeez. And this one sold, I think we took an offer for 50 bucks for this Dale, which is a pretty darn good deal, actually. Size large, 50 bucks plus shipping, paid less than 10 bucks. Hey, I want to interrupt the What Solds for just a second and tell you what we've got going on. We've been finding all kinds of crazy stuff. Wanted to show you some of it in here. This is just a taste of it. This is all vintage Flintstone stuff that we've found. These are some really cool vintage ones right there. I love this stuff. We've got just piles and piles, hats and vintage t-shirts and NASCAR. Even some cool little things coming in. I mean, some cool Hawaiian shirts and Care Bear stuff, and we've just got tons and tons and tons that we've got to get through this winter. So we're running $1 starts over there on Whatnot. We're selling all kinds of stuff, lots of stuff, individual stuff, really eclectic mix. We've even got some jewelry that we're putting in there in lots, and then some singles as well. I've got tons of stuff in my truck as well. It's gonna be a good time. Come and join us. There's always a link in the description below. You can also find it at commonwealthpicker.com. If you go through that link and you've never signed up for Whatnot before, you get a free 15 bucks. Go ahead and bookmark the shows we've got coming up. Should be a good time. Whatever these things are right here is what this dog just loves. You track them down, don't you? Come on, you can have it. There you go. Yeah, he likes to leave when he gets it. See ya. I'm actually not sure if this is a viewer. It's a first-time buyer, which means I saw a message or something. Maybe it's somebody coming over from Facebook. A lot of folks who watch on Facebook never bought on eBay before, and they see something and they want to grab it. So that's something awesome. I take a lot of criticism where, you can only sell to viewers or whatever, but I feel like, especially on other platforms, not necessarily YouTube, but on other platforms, a lot of people come over and buy, and it's the first time they've bought on eBay. And I think that's important to get new people buying on eBay. It helps all of us out. Here's another great example here. It's a Florida State Orange Bowl Polo, new old stock XL, 1993. And it sold for $38. If it was $99 and they beat the Hokies, I'd hate to see that shirt, but I'd love to get it out of here and I'd love to sell it, I'm an Angel fan, but I'll sell Dodger stuff all day long. Somebody bought 2 ET pins, and these are the 3D ET pins. Big shout out to Ivan every time we do this. Ivan is one of our absolute favorites. Thanks so much. We miss you, man. I can't wait to see you again. It's been a while. And those 2 ET pins sold for $15.95 plus shipping from 1983. I've had people tell me not to sell Dungeons and Dragons stuff before, and all kinds of different stuff. I suppose some people won't sell Ouija boards. Some people won't sell tarot cards. I get it. Those are issues. I'm not saying anybody needs to do what I do, but I'm saying that sometimes people get a little bit too bent out of shape. I mean, it's one thing to say, I refuse to sell ADH Dave merch. I would agree with that. Or maybe Harry Tornado merch. I'm not going to sell that stuff. I'm not going to stoop that low, but $15 plus shipping for Red Dead Redemption Xbox One game plus shipping. Had to take the pants bin out here because I knew these had been hanging around a long time, and they were all the way at the bottom of the barrel, and sure enough, that's exactly where they were. Brand new with tags, Ralph Lauren Polo pants, chinos, and I paid $1 at a yard sale for those a long time ago. And they sold for $22 plus shipping. Some people just don't have much luck with certain categories, and shoes for me to some degree, although I'm getting a little better at it, being more choosy. Dress pants for me were so hard. I used to try dress clothes, jackets. I don't know enough about them, but that was easy, right? Had the tag on it and everything, and I'm like, I'll turn $1 into 22. Are there any items out there, any categories you just won't sell because you feel like they sell, but you can't sell them? I got a few of those. The next item is they're just flying off the shelves. I had 4 of them. We're down to 1 left. I gotta make sure this is the right one. So if you remember the last one I sold it for 15 plus shipping. It was in poor condition. This one was in pretty darn good condition, and so I listed it for a little bit more. So it sold for $18 plus shipping. I would have had to put 15 minutes into cleaning that other one, and I only got $3 more out of one that's in good shape. So to me, that's not a good use of my time. It's better to pass on the poor condition ones or sell them as is, and that's what we've been doing lately. All right, one more time, Mom. Let's go. Let's go. You're earning your keep with these ornaments. We are getting low, y'all. We have sold a ton. We got 100 this year. We normally get 40 and they sell out in a day. And so they're lasting a little longer, but last I checked, there were 31 left. Can you do math? That means 69 sold. Speaking of ornaments, Wallen, and speaking of Hairy Tornado, look at this. Check it out. I got some Hairy Tornado Support Your Friends ornaments. People ask me all the time if I hate Josh and if Josh hates me or why we hate each other or whatever. I'll just say this. I think Haley Tornado is amazing. There you go. And these were sent to us not by Josh. He's too cheap. Lisa sent them to us. She bought them and sent them to us. I guess it's because she knows we decorate our tree. So Lisa, thank you. That was very kind of you. We'll put one on the tree right there. And I just want to say I can't beat him on YouTube subscribers, but we got the better ornament. That's a no-brainer right there. Plus Reagan signed these. There you go, and numbered. And since I've been popping off today, I'm going to pop off on one more thing. What the heck. But before I do, we bought this one at the Trinity Treasure sale. Kind of after you do that initial pick, you know, and then you go back trying to dig for more and you find a few more things. Paid $5 for this Craftsman Shaper and Molding Fence. Shout out Leroy Blood, Sweat, and Cell for getting me to look more and more at tools, even though I have no skills whatsoever with tools. And I went and looked at the tool section, Leroy, over there on Reseller Information Network. And what is the name? A one-stop shop. So thank you, Leroy. This one didn't sell for a ton, but 5 into $22. $22.95 plus shipping. Kind of along the lines of, you know, I won't sell this, and if you sell this, I hate you kind of thing. I feel like in this crazy circus social media world 24/7 we live in, there's one thing similar to that gets under my skin a little bit, and I hear it all the time on social media because I hang out with all kinds of people. I like all kinds of people. People that have different religious beliefs, political beliefs. There's so many great people in this community, and you know who you are out there, because you know we disagree on stuff, and you still like me, and I still like you. But one thing I can't stand is I don't like that guy. I've had people tell me about Dave. You go out with that Dave guy and whatever, and I don't like you because you're with Dave. I'm like, okay, you don't have to like Dave. You don't have to like me to like Dave. You don't have to like Dave to like me. And I don't know. That kind of stuff drives me nuts a little bit. I like to I mean, shoot, look at Art, the Art of Resale. That guy cusses up a storm, man. He's totally different than me, but we still find certain things that we agree on and have in common, and we like each other. And so I don't know what I'm talking about that, but that's one thing gets under my skin. Do you have friends like that? That'll tell you who your friends who you can be friends with? That's crazy. At any rate, this one wasn't a great buy, to be honest with you. I bought similar stuff in the past and did really well on it. I paid $10 for this one, thinking it would be worth around $50, and brought it home, and it wasn't. It was worth $30, which is still a profit. I get it, but if you told me, hey, you're gonna make like $14 profit off of that thing, I probably would have left it there, because it's a bit of a pain in the butt, to be honest. But we're still making money. Find the right box, put it in it. You know, that's the thing about shipping, y'all. So many people out there are like, how do you ship this or how do you ship that? If you've been doing this a while, it's simply a matter of finding the right box for most things. That's what it is, right? Yeah, finding the right box, huh? I think that's kind of the trick most of the time. Or, you know, a close box that you got to Frankenbox a little bit. $30. Plus shipping. You notice where that was from? It was from Kmart. Every time I see something from Kmart and Sears, it reminds me of the last video we did where, well, it doesn't remind me of this, but 2 videos ago, We talked about other platforms, and I said specifically, I said eBay is king. eBay will remain king for a long time, but it will not remain king forever. You know, in history, there's a book I used to read, Things Fall Apart. Nothing is an institution that just doesn't disappear. I shouldn't say nothing, but almost nothing is an institution that doesn't disappear. So I appreciate all the comments and feedback from that video. It was really good, and I think a lot of people get it, right? You got to do what makes you happy. You got to sell on the platforms that work for you, but always be open to at least, you know, hey, it's going great here now, but keep your finger on the pulse of where things are going, and, you know, protect what you're able to do because you love it so much. Because Kmart was king at one time, so was Sears. And, you know, where are they now? There was a time when people laughed at Amazon and said it wouldn't work. Well, it worked. And same thing with eBay. Animal plush sold. This is a pretty cool one. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute because Turner's got to come in and say a joke. Turner, you're getting so big, it makes me sad. But he does have a Christmas joke. What do you got?
What is green, covered in Christmas lights and Christmas bulbs, and goes ribbit?
I got no idea. What is it?
A mistletoe.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
This animal right here, it's a pretty awesome plush. I picked this up with Ray, the Nashville Flippers, I think. No, this is a different one I picked up. I don't know where. Oh, you know what? I got this out at Appomattox. Now I remember. She was selling stuff to her cheap. And this one is pretty cool. I loved Animal Muppets. And I'm picking, like, the coolest things that I just love the most. And I'm slowly putting them over there on dibdit.com. And me and Dave and Carrie started that selling site and niched down basically to our loves and trying to build a community around the 80s, especially for me, and some of the 90s and all that stuff. And this one's sold to, I don't remember, Daniel, Big Creek Emporium over there. So I appreciate that. It was $19 plus shipping. Hi, y'all. Reagan is in her jammies already?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
Bradley, David, Christy, Scott got a Trash Cash tumbler, and Beth got a Trash Cash shirt.
Trash to Cash tumbler. No. The first one's got the ornaments. They got the ornaments.
Well, yeah, I know. And then I didn't know what they got.
Yeah.
And then Scott got the Trash Cash tumbler, and Beth got the shirt.
You got it, baby. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Bye, and don't forget to get your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com.
And any ornaments, if they're left, because we pre-filmed this a little bit.
Yep.
Another sale over there, and I actually priced these lower over there. It's the only ET pin I put over there. I have two favorites. This one, and I might put this one over there. No, not that one. This one over there, too. I put it over there for $5 plus shipping, and Zach grabbed it from Jay's toy shop, so I appreciate that very much. Hi, Joe. I was initially going to do one giant video today. We had so many sales, I think 36. But I cut it in half. We did half of them here, and I'm going to film a video tomorrow, which is something I rarely do. I usually ship 3 days a week, and this week we're going to have to do 4, so pretty cool. I guess there'll be an extra video out here on Flipper. I usually don't post on... I post 3 days a week on Flipper. Typically, it's Monday and Thursday and Saturday. That's typically when I post, but we're going to add an extra one in this week because sales have been pretty darn good, and I hope yours are too. I know some of yours aren't. And some of you are reporting the best Q4 ever, and some of you are reporting the worst Q4 ever. It's a crazy ride out there. I hope you continue to do what you love to do and find a way to make it work. That's what we're doing as well. So we appreciate you stopping by as always, and I can't wait to see you next time.